Hi, it's September 2nd. Welcome back to the kitchen. We were out there planting a little while ago, stumbled across a few green beans, went ahead and cleaned them up. We're going to try this sweet pickled bean recipe. We're only going to make a couple pints, just see if we like it. But the ingredients, I think we're going to be okay. Now this is pretty simple. 3.5 cups of vinegar, 3.5 cups of water, 2 cups of sugar. I've already got the vinegar and 1 of the cups of sugar in. We're going to use some mustard seed, some turmeric, some ginger, some nutmeg, some celery seed, some cinnamon, some black pepper, and just a little bit of red pepper. The recipe will be in the description box below. If you find any of these canning videos helpful, please hit the subscribe button and tell your friends. Alright, come on, let's cook. We're sterilizing our jars and our utensils. We're softening the rings on our lids. Remember, never reuse these lids. And this syrup is pretty simple. Put that on high. Let's put our 2nd cup of sugar and all of our spices. And then we'll bring this to a boil and we'll let it cook for 15 minutes. And while we're doing that, we'll go ahead and pack the jars with our beans. Like I say, we'll see what we get. Now, you can cut these to length and stand them up the long ways. I kind of like these on my plate with my dinner. So we cut them into regular bite-sized pieces. May not be quite as fun, but it does a trick. And if you remembered our other canning video, just pat these against your hand. That jar is pretty warm. It'll help that settle. Just add a few more. We will want to keep about 1/2 inch of head space. Now the head space is the air pocket you're going to leave between the bottom of the ring and your lid. And that allows expansion when it heats up, and contraction, or it creates a vacuum when it cools down, which will create your seal. I guess it's going to be 4 pints. Alright, now that our syrup's been boiling for about 10 minutes, go ahead and fill the jars. In every one of the canning videos, I've used a different implement to get the air bubbles out. I boiled our magnet this time to show that you don't actually have to have any kind of fancy thing. You can double use this, but you do want to get down there. You do want to let the air bubbles out. That's important for your head space. The liquid does settle quite a bit when you do that. When it's all said and done, these will float the way we're doing it because of the head space. Just add just a little bit more liquid with our clean paper towel. Make sure you wipe all the rims. Want to get a good solid seal. This does have hot liquid in it, so these are hot. And you just want finger tight. Sort of a subjective term. You need to have it tight enough that it doesn't leak all the way out, but loose enough that the air can get out. You don't want to really crank it down too hard. Got these 5 in. Crank this up to high, get it boiling. Want about 1 inch or 2 of water over the top of your jars. Put the lid on. We'll let that come to a rolling boil. We'll let it boil for 15 minutes. It's time to taste. Alright, the thing about this is they shrink up a little bit. I probably could have packed them a little tighter. I probably should have. But by cutting them, you allow enough liquid to get in both ends that they cook and they shrink down. Ah, you gotta love that seal. Let's taste these. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Okay, so if you venture to make this and they shrink up on you, don't worry about it. They're cooked. They're in vinegar and water. Pretty good recipe. I think we're gonna go ahead and make a full batch of these. Until next time, come on, let's cook. Thank you for coming to the kitchen. Come on, let's plant.
Let's go plant garden.